What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy, the Middle-Aged Gamer, and basically we've got a cool one for this video. I'd like to think so anyway. Basically, every time I go airsofting, I always seem to get asked the question like, am I going to put an RMR on it? Do I think RMRs are better? Do I think it's this, etc.? And it's something that both in airsoft and real steel have exactly the same, implications and benefits if it works. Now, basically, this gun, obviously, as we know, is the RE4 USP. Now, there is no optics mount for it, you would have thought. But Tokyo Marui, about a year ago, came out, or a little bit longer, came out with the RMR mount for the full-size USP. Now, as this is a full-size slide on there, it should fit no problem. So, what I was thinking is this. Let's do a bit of a science experiment. As I picked up the mount, and I got the official RMR from Tokyo Marui, if I can crack that off. As you can see, that is their RMR. Now, I'm excited for this because I do like the TM satellite products. They do generally work quite well. But as this is TM, it's going to pair quite nice. Now, this is made of plastic, but I've been assured via Tokyo Marui themselves, having sent them an email, that the glass on this is impact resistance of a 0.2 gram BB of excess of 350 FPS. So it's going to last you no matter what, which is really cool. Now, I got this on the secondary market, really cheap. These are $59.99 new, so they're not exactly a cheap thing to buy. So it's highly recommended that if you do get one, try and get one on the secondary. If you can't, then find one really cheap. Now, I wanted to get that. Now, the science experiment of this is we're going to perform a test. I'm going to shoot a drill, basically, where I shoot one shot on the plate off the Texas Star and then transition to the main target. But to do so, starting from low ready, up, shoot the Texas Star plate off, move over, take the main shot, and keep doing it until the Texas Star is cleared. Now, my scientific side of this is going to be basically the speed of how it is done, so how fast it takes to clear the rack completely, and two, what the actual grouping size is at the end. How tight can I keep it? Now, we already know what this is potential of doing with iron sights off. It's, you're talking a square of 4 inches, but it's never is. It's usually more narrower than that and slightly shorter, but I'm going to be generous and say a 4-inch square. Now, we want to keep it as centered as possible, etc. So it's going to be placement. Now, the science part of it is going to be, it's the same gun with the same shooter with basically the same amount of experiences with RMRs or irons anyway. And basically, it kind of eliminates it. Same BB weight, same gas, etc. So it's as close to scientific as we're going to get, fairly. But obviously, this is just for fun, but it kind of, for me, will put a nail in that coffin finally of whether RMRs are or not. One thing I have noticed, SIG have just released the M17/M18 Romeo Pro for that pistol now. It's now been officially handed over to the US military. All branches are going to get theirs to equip with their guns. The French and that, the Belgium, you'll find that basically everyone's sort of like fitting RMRs to the guns because it just seems to be a forced multiplayer. But there are still those that believe in the John Wick mentality, which, to be honest, it's cool that he can do all what he can do with irons only. It's not easy to find targets, especially far away, and get that shot. But in realistic, are we, any of us, John Wick in real life? No. There's only one Keanu Reeves, But yeah, basically, it's a good proof of concept, so let's get into it. So let's load up the USP, we'll put it in a full mag, we'll take it out, do a test, then we'll come back and fit this RMR to it. Okay, so I'm using Nuprol 1 and 0.2 gram BBs. The idea is to shoot the Texas Star and then transition to the main target. If I miss, I still have to shoot the main target before I can take another shot at the Texas Star. And that's where it gets a little bit more accuracy orientated and helps with the transition and finding, your target in the sights, etc. All the usual good stuff. So let's put it to the test. Let's step back and let's give it a go. Hello, ready? Beep. Oh, missed one. Target. Shot. Shot hit. Miss. Target. Miss. Come on, where are you hitting? Oh, no. How many are we going to get? Go before it clips. There he goes. Slow it down. Breathe. Miss. Gotcha. Miss. Miss. Gotcha. Last one. Let's hope we can clear it. Come on. Slow it down. Let it slow naturally. Oh, last shot and miss. So, we didn't manage to clear it all with irons. And we got a lot back. So we went through all 25 rounds and still not. Ooh. Okay, so now that we've done that test, which was quite shocking, not being able to clear the rack due to irons. Again, that's partly the shooter as well as the gun. It's just the fact that the front sight does block your target at 10 meters. Your 2-inch little target is going to be tiny. So you do have that. Now, what I've gone and done is disassembled the gun as far as I can. I've taken the rear sight off. That's this little block here. You unscrew these 2 little screws out of those 2 holes there, and then your rear sight will be able to just push through. Now, let's open up this product for the first time. As you can see, I've not opened it. Let's take a good gander. Okay, so we've got some new mounting screws for the RMR, and we get the new plates. Now, from what I understand, this should go that way. Okay. Right, so we need to mount this in here first. Now we need to line up the holes and put the screws back in. Right. Oh, always have my screwdriver ready. One. And 2. Just so we don't de-thread, back them out, put it back in. Don't want to over tighten straight away. Okay guys, because all you're going to do there is wreck your threads. And what we want to do is make sure that they are tight, because this holds the blowback unit in place as well. It's part of the security mount. Now that's in. Then we take the plate, we place the plate on the top there. What we need to do now is take your RMR and mount that on the top. And then there should be the tiny screws here. So if we put you like that. Come on, there we go. Come on, there they are. Okay. Drop one in there, and we'll drop one. Oh, come on. You're a pain. Do it one at a time then if you really want to go that way. Let's have a look. Okay. I think it's this one. Yep. So, now just securing the first screw in, nice and tight so it doesn't move. Same for the other. That ain't going nowhere. And now we have an RMR. Now, the RMR of TM is quite good. So if I click it to low, there you go. You got a nice red dot on there. And then you got high, which is, let's see, we go, well, very high. Leave it off. And as you can see, you get that. Now that we've done that, we need to reattach to our normal place. Lock it back. Put our muzzle brake on. Put you in there. There it goes. And we'll grab our Allen key and start to, as always, keep dropping. There it is, it's biting now. Tight. So now I should. Oh, come on, Andy. There you go. There it is. Muzzle brake in. Wow, come on guys, that looks absolutely beautiful. Right, so let's get this zeroed and let's take it out to the range. Okay, so let's see if the RMR can beat the iron sights on this. Okay, so same drill as before, New Pro 1 with 0.2 gram BBs and distance of 10 meters. As you can see, now with the beautiful RMR fitted. So let's take it back and give it a go. All ready? Beat. Let's let it slow down. Breathe. Nailed it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots, 5 targets. RMR wins. Okay, guys. So there's the test. The iron sights didn't even manage to clear the rack. This cleared it with half, how would you say, a mag. Let's put it that way. 7 shots in total to clear the target, plus 7 on the other would bring it to 14 shots in total. But the point is, it's 7 shots to clear the rack with a red dot, and I lost how many shots in total it would have taken to clear it with irons. Pros and cons of both. Well, there is a pro and there is a con for both. With iron sights, it's a natural thing. You line the 3 dots and away you go. And it's free. It's all included on the pistol. It's all there from the start, unless you buy a Sand Viper, then you don't get any iron sights. But generally, you get your sights on the gun. There's no extra cost, and it's something that you can start training with. But the cons are the front sight here blocks it. Okay, because it's a wide sight, even though this is low profile, and this is one of the lowest profiles I've seen out of my collection. This basically still would block the 2-inch target at 10 meters, would appear so little, and you couldn't really see it through that. So, yeah, it's hard to acquire the target. You've got to find it and then raise it back up to cover it and shoot it. And many of the times it would lead to being, how to say, a missed shot or whatever you. So, yeah, I do think that that is an issue. You know, it's one of those with irons, but it's something that you'll work through because you'll learn it. It's free. It's on the gun. Whereas having an RMR, the transitioning to go from basically trying to find that dot there and bringing it into line, it's the presentation. You have to pull it into your chest, push out, and make sure you get it lined up. That's the longest thing that takes practice to get used to, is presentation of your firearm. From a low ready, I bring it up my chest and push out. Doing it that way, I'm already lining up. But you can just lift it. With training, you can do it. But that's the same thing with anything. You can get good at any if you put training in. You just have to actually train and practice and run the drills. This drill is one I've been sort of like started to run now because I find it's really tough. You have to take into account transitioning, reacquiring target, reacquiring your red dot, and making sure that your timing and your shot is right. You know, it is one of those. Now, as for the red dot itself, it held up. Outside, the red dot looked beautiful, especially on low. Now, obviously, if it gets really bright and sunny, you can switch it to high. But for me, I think as it is great. The adjustment knobs are smooth. They're not clicky, but they hold. They've not shifted on me yet. And the fact that you get your nice cover, it's impact rated glass. The RMR is quite good out the box. Obviously, there are going to be better standards if you buy a Romeo or out like that. But for this gun, out the box, Tokyo Marui ready to go with an RMR. Come on, guys. This gun looks phenomenal now. This is complete, as you would say. This is how it should be. Just beautiful, you know? And like I say, RMRs work. There's a reason why most militaries now, modern first world militaries that is, are using RMRs on their pistols, that their pistols they adopt have a cutout for it. Because once you've got the training in and you practice, red dot becomes way more second nature than irons. It's way more easier, and it allows a much wider selection of troops to acquire a better accuracy. Because those, you'll find with irons, I myself am right eye dominant, left eye, or left eye dominant, right handed. In doing so, that leads me to my target to be slightly off. And with irons, that's hard. But if I get this zeroed in correctly, I can actually nail that shot, you know? And it's a better percentage. And that's what militaries want. I remember watching an interview for John Wick, for instance, when it was filmed over a year and a half ago, back when the film was supposed to have come out. But due to COVID and pandemic, they pushed the film back a lot. And instead, we got the Sand Viper. But if you listen to Terran Butler, he was saying that when he presented the Pit Viper, he wanted to do a version with an RMR because the Pit Viper can only go through the entry-level competition. It can't go above. You can't really go further than that. There is no milled cut for it. It's just set up. And $7,000 for that, for an entry-level gun? It doesn't matter if you win and become the best, you'll still be just an entry-level champ, if you get what I mean. So that's a lot of money. It's like putting a Formula One car in a go-kart race, to be honest with you. But sticking a red dot available on there, as he said, and that's why we got the Sand Viper. But because the film was put back, the Sand Viper came out first. I remember the first time I saw it was when Demolition Ranch, Matt Carricker had one, and he went out training with it. It was like beautiful piece of kit. So yeah, as he said himself, it took him time, but red dots are the way to go. You just got to try. And I know it feels strange. It's like anything that feels alien at first. The more you try it, the more comfortable you get, the better you'll become inside. And so that's why I think red dots are better, personally. And we've proven that on the test today, I'd like to agree. But I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you prefer, iron sights or red dots? Or both? Which would be an actual honourable place to be. I've been the Middle Aged Gamer. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.